1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. The government has decided to evaluate prevailing situation of COVID-19 and lockdown impacts after Eid in view of light attitude of people towards SOPs. 34 deaths were reported due to coronavirus in the country during the last 24 hours, while global death toll has risen to 3,47,000. Japan today lifted a nationwide state of emergency over the coronavirus, gradually reopening the world's third largest economy. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 youth in Kolgam district today. In Afghanistan, 100 Taliban prisoners have been released from a military prison as a goodwill gesture, boosting efforts to launch peace talks. Myanmar has filed a report to International Court of Justice on its adherence to measures to protect its Rohingya Muslim minority. And now the news in detail. Special Assistant on Health Dr. Zafar Mirza has warned against taking COVID-19 lightly as the cases and deaths could increase in the country in the coming days. In a media briefing, he said the government will evaluate the prevailing situation immediately after Eid and can review its decision of relaxation in lockdown if the situation gets worse. Special Assistant said lockdown was relaxed in the country in view of Eid festival, but it seems people are under the wrong impression that prevalence of disease is reducing. He said social distancing and other precautionary measures are key to stop the spread of this killer disease. Dr. Zafar Mirza said this Eid has been dedicated to frontline health workers who are selflessly fighting this disease. He said testing rate is increasing in Pakistan. Until yesterday, 4,83,000 tests had been made. The number of coronavirus infection cases in the country has risen to 56,349, with 1,748 cases reported during the last 24 hours. According to National Command and Operations Center, 20,077 cases have so far been detected in Punjab, 22,491 in Sindh, 7,905 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 3,407 in Balochistan, 1,641 in Islamabad, 619 in Gilgit-Baltistan, and 209 in Azad Kashmir. Coronavirus pandemic claimed over 3,47,000 lives across the world and more than 5.5 million infections have so far been detected. The United States has the highest death toll of 99,300, followed by Britain with 36,793 and Italy with 32,785. Over 2.3 million infected people have so far been recovered from the disease. Japan today lifted a nationwide state of emergency over the coronavirus, gradually reopening the world's third largest economy. Compared with hard-hit areas in Europe, the United States, Russia, and Brazil, Japan has been spared the worst of the pandemic with 16,581 infections and 830 deaths. In a televised news briefing, the Prime Minister Abe lauded Japan's success in flattening the curve, but he warned the people to avoid the 3 C's: closed spaces, crowded places, and close contact. Pakistan's ambassador to China, Nagmana Hashmi, has said the Chinese model of poverty alleviation is worth learning for Pakistan to promote socio-economic development. In an interview, she said China's success tells us that poverty is not predestined and can be eliminated through unremitting efforts. The ambassador said Pakistan is working hard to promote national development and social and economic progress. A 7-member investigation team of PIA visited the plane crash site in Karachi today and started the investigations into the incident. The team, equipped with modern equipment, also inspected the buildings damaged in the incident. Meanwhile, a team of Airbus Company of France is arriving in Karachi today to assist in the investigation process of the PIA plane crash. The team will visit the site at Model Colony area as shifting of plane wreckage from the site has also been stopped. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang has sent a message of condolence to Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi over the crash of a passenger plane in Karachi. He expressed sincere sympathies to the injured and the bereaved families. Wang said the Chinese people are firmly standing together with the Pakistani people at this moment of grief. The second day of Eid al-Fitr was observed with simplicity today across the country. Contrary to past practices and traditions, majority of the people preferred to stay at their homes instead of visiting relatives, friends and recreational sites in compliance with the standard operating procedures introduced by the government for containment of the coronavirus. During these holidays, the entry of tourists was banned in Murree and other tourist places in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Azad Jammu and Kashmir Prime Minister Raja Farooq Haider Khan has said the people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir are continuing their freedom struggle despite the worst lockdown imposed by the Indian occupying forces in the territory over the last 9 months. In his message on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr, he emphatically stated that the Kashmiri people will get independence from the cruel Indian clutches. Felicitating the people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir on the occasion of Eid, the AJK Prime Minister said the day is not far off when the people on both sides of the line of control will celebrate the Eid together and share the happiness of this auspicious occasion. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred 2 Kashmiri youth in Kolgam district today. According to Kashmir Media Service, the youth were killed during a cordon and search operation in Damhal, Hanjipura area. The authorities also suspended all mobile internet services in Kolgam and Shopian districts. The chairman of the All-Party Hurriyat Conference, Saeed Ali Gilani, in a message once again urged the people to thwart Indian designs against Muslim identity of Jammu and Kashmir by not selling their property to outsiders. He stressed the need for determination and unity to counter frequent changes being brought about by the oppressor India in Jammu and Kashmir. Ali Gilani asked the Muslim countries around the world to break their silence and prove loyalty to Islam as the heart of the Muslim world is being stabbed with another Palestine in the making in Kashmir. Hurriyat leaders Abdul Samad Inqilabi and Khwaja Firdaus in their separate statements in Srinagar denounced the use of brute force by the Indian forces on peaceful protesters in the occupied territory. They demanded immediate release of illegally detained Hurriyat leaders and activists languishing in different jails of India and Kashmir. In Afghanistan, some 100 Taliban prisoners have been released from a military prison as part of the government's response for a ceasefire offer to mark the Eid al-Fitr festival. National Security Council spokesman Javed Faisal told AFP the government plans to free up to 2,000 Taliban inmates as a goodwill gesture, boosting efforts to launch peace talks. Meanwhile, 10 people were killed today and 5 wounded after an exchange of fire between 2 armed local leaders in Takhar province. A spokesman for the provincial governor said the exchange of fire took place in the Kalafjan region. Myanmar has filed a report on its adherence to measures to protect its Rohingya Muslim minority imposed by the International Court of Justice. In the past 2 months, Myanmar has published presidential directives ordering government personnel not to commit genocide or destroy evidence and to halt hate speech. Gambia had filed a suit against Myanmar in November last year at the International Court of Justice, accusing it of ongoing genocide against the Rohingyas after expelling more than 730,000 Rohingya Muslims. The rights group say no meaningful steps to end the atrocities against the Rohingyas have been taken. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.